You know that feeling, right? That moment, maybe years into a relationship, where the initial crazy excitement just feels like a memory.
Hmm.
It's replaced by this comfortable, maybe even too comfortable routine.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
You look across the table, you still love them, but the sparkle, it's kind of faded.
It feels a bit dim.
Yeah. And you wonder, maybe silently, is this just how it is now? Is this the new normal? Or can we actually get that spark back?
That feeling. It's so common. And that's really what we're diving into today.
Okay.
Here on the Deep Dive. Our mission, it's always to sift through the best research, the insights from psychology, mental health, personal well-being,
Right.
and pull out the stuff that actually works
Yeah.
to help you understand and hopefully tackle one of the toughest parts of long-term relationships.
Boredom.
Boredom.
Yeah.
And look, it doesn't mean things are doomed. Not at all.
Yeah.
But it does signal, hey, maybe we need some intentional effort, some fresh ways of connecting.
Okay, so let's unpack that. We all know the honeymoon phase ends. But what's actually happening when that initial buzz wears off and boredom starts creeping in?
It's kind of funny, isn't it? The comfort we want can actually, breed boredom. Our brains just love novelty.
Right, they get used to things.
Exactly. Psychologist Cynthia Ketchings put it well. She said, boredom is normal. We cannot be happy and celebrating all the time. It's just impossible to keep that high level of infatuation going forever. Relationships change, they evolve.
So the goal isn't to avoid comfort.
No, not at all. It's more about actively, refreshing it, keeping it from getting stale.
So if feeling bored is normal, how do you know when it's crossed a line? When it's gone from just comfortable routine to something? Yeah, more worrying.
That's a great question. You got to ask yourself,
Yeah.
Am I confusing comfort with boredom? Or is being comfortable actually making me bored? It helps to maybe pinpoint where the boredom is. Is it the day-to-day grind? Is it date nights feeling predictable? Or maybe the sex life feels a bit routine?
Identifying the specific area.
Yeah. And here's something really interesting. The boredom itself isn't necessarily the huge red flag.
No.
It's the lack of interest from both people in doing something about it. If only one person is trying to shake things up, well, that's a different kind of issue.
Okay, so it needs to be a team effort.
Absolutely. That desire to bring back the fun, the sparkle, whatever you want to call it, has to be mutual.
Yeah.
And, just to underline why this matters, some studies, like the Normal Bar survey, found boredom was a reason people gave for infidelity.
Wow.
Yeah, 71% of men and 49% of women in that survey mentioned it. It's a pretty stark reminder that if connection gets neglected,
Yeah.
it can kind of leave the door open for other things. Boredom isn't just a passive feeling. It can slowly erode intimacy.
Okay, that statistic definitely gets your attention. It really highlights why it's so important to actually address this, not just ignore it.
Yeah.
So if you've done that reflection, you've decided, yes, we both want to fix this. We want to reignite things. Where do we start? What's the first step?
Right, the foundation. It always comes back to rebuilding connection through communication.
Yeah.
And the first big piece of that, prioritizing quality time.
Quality time. Sounds simple, but
life gets crazy busy, right? Weeks just vanish.
Totally.
So this is where scheduling it comes in. I know it sounds maybe a bit unromantic.
A little clinical, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. But treating that dedicated time together like any other important appointment, it's crucial. Put it in the calendar. Protect that time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be fancy dinners or trips.
Right.
Cooking together, going for a walk, even just an hour where you really talk without distractions. That counts big time.
And, okay, so you managed to schedule it. You've got the time blocked out. What's the number one thing that derails it, that stops it from being quality time? Distraction.
Exactly that. When you're actually together, the key is being fully present. Put the phones away, shut the laptops, really truly listen and engage with each other. Yeah, just focusing on each other. Which, let's be honest, in today's world, that's almost like a radical act of love in itself.
That's true. Okay, so we set aside the time, we put away distractions. What about the communication itself? How do we make that better? I'm curious about this idea of couples meetings. Sounds a bit corporate.
Yeah, it can sound that way, but honestly, it can be incredibly effective. Think of it as a non-negotiable, maybe 30-minute check-in each week.
Okay, 30 minutes. What happens in that meeting?
It's usually structured maybe in 4 parts.
Yeah.
First, appreciation. Just saying thanks for the good stuff, the positives from the week.
Nice, starting positive.
Yeah. Second, values or goals. Sharing what's coming up, maybe coordinating schedules, to-do lists, how you can support each other.
Practical stuff.
Third, Plan for good times. This is where you actually schedule those date nights, maybe individual activities, family stuff.
Locking it in.
Exactly. And finally, fourth, problems or challenges. A dedicated space to talk about conflicts, things bothering you, unmet needs. Having that structure means stuff doesn't just fester.
That framework sounds really useful. And for those tougher conversations, the problems challenges part. Setting some ground rules seems important. I know the speaker-listener technique gets mentioned a lot. What's the gist of that?
Yeah, it's a great one for slowing things down when they get heated. The core idea is super simple, really. One person speaks the speaker. They have the floor.
Okay.
They use I statements. I feel hurt when, not blaming, not going on forever, just expressing their experience.
Yeah, I statements, not you did this.
Exactly. And the other person, the listener, their only job is to listen and then paraphrase what they heard back. So what I hear you saying is just to check they understood.
So no arguing back, no solutions yet.
Nope, no interrupting, no disagreeing, no jumping to fix it. The whole point isn't solving the problem right then. It's about making sure your partner feels truly heard and understood.
Validation first.
Precisely. And often, that validation itself clears the air and makes finding solutions later way easier than if you just jumped into problem-solving mode while feelings are high.
I can definitely see how that would help. But what makes it hard? Where do couples usually stumble with that technique?
Oh, it takes real discipline. It's hard not to interrupt or defend yourself immediately.
Yeah, I bet.
But practicing it really builds empathy. Another really helpful tool is assertive communication. It gives you a kind of script for raising concerns constructively.
Okay, a script. How does that work?
It's simple, usually 3 parts. 1, I feel. Just name your emotion briefly. I feel frustrated. I feel sad.
Got it.
2, when. Describe the situation factually. No you statements, no blame. So instead of you never help out, maybe when the dishes pile up after dinner.
Factual description.
Okay. And 3, I would prefer it if. Make a polite, specific request for a behavior change, just one thing at a time. I would prefer it if we could tackle the dishes together before watching TV.
Clear, specific, and focused on behavior. I like that.
Yeah, it's really effective.
And I heard a tip once. Practice that assertive script with positive feelings first.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Like, I feel really happy when you text me during the day. I'd prefer it if we could keep doing that. Something like that. Builds the muscle.
Exactly. It primes you for using it positively. Now, while you're working on these skills, it's also good to be aware of common communication roadblocks. You know, the dumps.
The pitfalls. Like what?
Well, instead of long lectures or blaming, try those brief, specific I statements we talked about.
Right.
Instead of vague complaints, be concrete. And please, active listening.
Yeah.
Put the phone down, make eye contact, nod. Show you're actually hearing them, not just waiting to talk or giving the silent treatment.
Avoid interrupting. Check you understood by paraphrasing.
Yes. And try to be constructive, not just critical. Tone of voice matters, too. Avoid yelling, sarcasm, bringing up ancient history.
Oh, yeah, dredging up the past. Never helpful.
Never. Stay on the current topic. Match your words and your body language. Don't keep feelings bottled up, but express them appropriately. Avoid scowling or trying to mind read. Just listen.
Okay, lots of good do's and don'ts there. But what if, despite best efforts, things still get too heated? You mentioned a timeout strategy, like a T signal.
Yeah, the T signal. It's a pre-agreed way to pause escalating conflict. First, you have to recognize that intense emotion building inside you, anger, frustration, whatever.
Self-awareness.
Crucial. Then you communicate it. I need to take some time out, or just make the T signal. And then this is important. You physically walk away completely.
Just leave.
Yep. Go do something calming. Take a walk. Listen to music. Deep breaths. Stay away until you're actually calm. And use that time to think about how you want to respond constructively, not just react emotionally.
Okay. And then?
Then you go back to your partner and you're ready to discuss ideas for change, not just vent. The key, though, is you have to discuss and agree on this strategy before you need it when things are calm.
Right, so you both know the rules.
And the partner who doesn't call time out has to respect it. They have to let the other person have that space. No following, no demanding. They talk immediately.
Got it. Respect the pause. Okay, one last thing on communication. Appreciation and gratitude. Feels simple, but powerful.
Immensely powerful. Simple thank yous, Specific compliments, they go such a long way. There's even a technique called the appreciation journal.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Super simple. Just jot down one specific thing you appreciate about your partner or something they did each day. Doesn't have to be huge. Then maybe share those notes once a week.
I like that. Actively looking for the good.
Exactly. It literally trains your brain to notice the positive, and it makes your partner feel seen and valued. It's like a regular booster shot for the relationship.
Okay, foundation built. Quality time, better communication, appreciation. Now for the really fun part. How do we actually reignite the spark? Novelty, intimacy, shared experiences. Where do we start?
Novelty and spontaneity. That's a huge one. Our brains crave it.
So surprises.
Yep. Even small ones. Well, leave a thoughtful note, grab their favorite coffee on the way home, plan a surprise picnic lunch on a Saturday, little things that break the routine.
Breaking routines.
Nice.
That sounds key.
Totally. Instead of just defaulting to TV, try a new board game. Cook a completely new type of cuisine together. Go to a different restaurant or cafe.
Mix it up.
Yeah. And think bigger, too. Plan adventures. Explore a local market you've never visited, hike in a different park, take a pottery class together, or, plan a weekend getaway if you can. Shared new experiences are fantastic for bonding. Gets the heart rate up a bit,
Yeah, that feeling of discovering something together. That ties into what you call the high five factor, right? Shared goals.
Exactly. That sense of being a team, achieving something together.
How do you start with that?
Start small.
Yeah.
Seriously small. Like maybe tackle making one really great meal from scratch together. You do the main, I do the sides. It's a mini challenge. And when it works out, you get that little we did it feeling of a high five moment.
Okay, small wins.
Then you build on it. Compound the effects. Maybe those small goals become bigger ongoing ones. Like, let's commit to cooking 3 healthy meals together each week. Or let's start saving a specific amount each month for, say, a future trip.
Making it continue.
Right. And then, you can go even bigger. Think about huge goals.
Yeah.
Maybe visiting all the national parks, or becoming debt-free, or even, for some couples, starting a side business together.
Wow, okay.
These kinds of massive long-term goals create a really deep sense of shared purpose. And think of all the high fives along the way. But important caveat, choose goals that actually enhance your lives. Not like ungoals that add stress or aren't truly beneficial.
Good point. Choose wisely. Okay, communication, shared goals. Let's talk intimacy and physical affection. How do we deepen that? Especially if it feels, routine.
Yeah, it's crucial. And it starts with everyday non-sexual touch.
Non-sexual, like holding
hands when you're walking, giving a proper hug, not just a quick pat, cuddling on the sofa while watching a movie, a simple touch on the arm as you pass by.
Okay.
These little things build warmth, closeness. They actually release bonding hormones like oxytocin. It creates a foundation of connection.
Makes sense. And then for addressing sexual boredom, that can feel awkward to talk about.
It can, but honest, straightforward communication is absolutely key. Maybe start by sharing turn-ons or fantasies you haven't talked about before.
Okay, being open.
Yeah. Maybe watch some porn together. Not necessarily to copy, but just for ideas or conversation starters. Sending flirty or sexy texts during the day can build anticipation. And don't be afraid to ask directly for what you want in bed. Or suggest changing the scenery. Try the kitchen, the shower, somewhere different. Even role-playing can add a fun new dynamic for some couples.
I've also heard about something called the anything but rule.
Oh, yeah, that can be interesting.
Yeah.
The idea is you take penetrative sex off the table completely for a set period.
Really? Why?
It lowers the pressure, the expectation, and it forces you to focus on other kinds of intimacy. Intense kissing, cuddling, touching, maybe just second base stuff. It can actually build a lot of tension and desire in a different way.
Interesting. Or the opposite approach I've heard is actually scheduling sex.
Counterintuitive maybe, but yes.
Yeah.
Especially for super busy couples. Scheduling it can take the pressure off trying to find a spontaneous moment that never comes. It builds anticipation. You know it's coming. You can look forward to it.
Different strokes for different folks, I guess.
Absolutely. It's about finding what works to reignite your connection without it feeling as an obligation.
Okay, what about memories? Looking back and looking forward.
Yes. Revisiting shared memories is powerful. Dig out old photo albums or videos, talk about past holidays, funny moments, milestones you've shared.
Reminiscing.
Yeah. Or even recreate a meaningful moment. Go back to the place you had your first date or somewhere else that's special to your story.
That's sweet. And creating new memories.
Definitely. Start some new traditions that are just yours, maybe a monthly games night, a specific type of Sunday brunch, an annual camping trip, things that build a unique shared history and give you stuff to look forward to together.
Love that. Now, what about individual space? does that play a role?
Hugely important. Nurturing your individual growth and having your own space is essential.
How so?
Well, you need to invest in your own interests, your friendships, your personal well-being. Being a whole, fulfilled person makes you a more vibrant partner. Honestly, it's hard to feel super attracted to someone who seems to have lost their own identity within the relationship.
That's a really good point. Having our own life makes the shared life richer.
Exactly. And sometimes, believe it or not, a little distance can actually create desire.
Distance, like taking breaks.
It could be a girl's trip, a guy's weekend, a solo retreat. Spending a little time apart can actually make you miss each other, remind you of what you appreciate. But it can even be smaller things.
Right.
Like sometimes just sitting on opposite sides of a bar when you go out, or taking separate cars to meet somewhere. Little things that create a tiny bit of separation can sometimes stir up those feelings of wanting to reconnect.
Huh. Interesting psychological trick. So, bringing a lot of this together, how does it relate to truly understanding what makes your partner feel loved?
Well, that leads perfectly into the 5 love languages. Have you heard of that concept?
Vaguely, yeah. Remind me.
It's the idea that people primarily give and receive love in one of 5 main ways.
Okay, what are they?
There's words of affirmation, compliments, encouragement, saying, I love you. Then acts of service, doing helpful things, taking care of tasks. Third is receiving gifts. Thoughtful tokens, things that show you are thinking of them. Fourth is quality time, giving your undivided attention, being fully present. And fifth is physical touch, hugs, holding hands, cuddling, sex.
Okay, 5 distinct ways.
Yeah. And the key insight is that you and your partner might have different primary love languages. So you might be showing love through acts of service, like always doing the dishes.
Right.
But maybe their primary language is quality time, and what they really want is for you to put your phone down and just talk for 20 minutes.
So your efforts might not be landing if you're not speaking their language.
Exactly. So figuring out your own primary language and your partner's, and then making an effort to express affection in the way that resonates most with them, that's incredibly powerful for deepening connection and making sure they actually feel loved.
That makes so much sense. It's about targeted affection. Okay, this is all fantastic stuff, but what if you try these things, you really make an effort, and things still feel stuck or broken? This brings us to our last section. When might you need professional help? And how do you keep this flame going long term?
Yeah, that's a really important point. Sometimes the issues run deeper than just simple boredom or routine.
Like past hurts.
Exactly. Past hurts, maybe betrayals, deep disappointments that haven't really been resolved. These need to be acknowledged, talked about honestly, even if it's painful.
Forgiveness comes into play there, I imagine.
It does. And forgiveness is a process, right? It's more about letting go of the resentment for your own sake, not necessarily forgetting or condoning. And if trust has been broken, rebuilding it takes time. It requires consistent, trustworthy actions, not just words or apologies.
It's a journey, not a quick fix.
Definitely. And you need self-compassion during that process. It's tough work.
So if you're dealing with those deeper issues or maybe just feeling really stuck, that's where professional help comes in.
Absolutely. And let's be clear. Seeking help from a couples therapist or a relationship counselor is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Right. Taking proactive steps.
Exactly. A trained, neutral third party can provide a safe space where you both feel heard without judgment. They can teach you effective communication tools, help you understand the underlying patterns in your conflicts.
Navigate those really tough conversations.
Yes, especially if trust is broken or if there's just a lot of resentment built up. They can help you see things from a different perspective and develop healthier ways of relating to each other.
So when should couples seriously consider it?
Well, if communication feels totally broken down, if there's ongoing resentment that never clears, if trust is shattered, if you just feel fundamentally stuck in negative cycles, or if maybe one partner's mental health is significantly impacting the relationship, major life changes can also be a good time to get support.
Okay, good indicators. Finally then, assuming you've worked through stuff, or maybe things were never that bad, how do you sustain the spark long term? How do you keep the garden tended, so to speak?
It comes back to that intentionality. Connection isn't a project you finish. It's an ongoing daily priority.
Not set it and forget it.
Definitely not. Relationships change as you change and as life circumstances change. So you have to embrace adaptability, be willing to adjust to different needs and life stages.
Keep growing individually, too.
Keep nurturing your own self, your own interests. Bring that vibrant individual self to the relationship. And celebrate the small wins along the way. Acknowledge the progress you make together, however minor it seems.
And approach the inevitable bumps with understanding, not blame.
Exactly. Self-compassion for yourself and compassion for your partner.
So the big takeaway seems to be that while relationships naturally shift beyond that initial, maybe frantic spark, what comes next, that deeper, more resilient connection, can be incredibly fulfilling and rekindling the fun, the passion.
Yeah.
It's totally possible.
Absolutely possible. It just takes that intentional effort, that open communication, and consciously creating those shared experiences.
It really is about consciously choosing to nurture it.
It is. Your relationship isn't this static thing that just exists. It's more like a living, breathing garden. It needs tending.
I like that analogy. So the question for everyone listening is, what small, conscious act of tending will you choose to do today, or maybe this week, to help your garden thrive?
A great question to ponder. We really hope this deep dive has given you some useful tools and inspiration. We invite you to continue your own journey of discovery and connection.
Thanks for joining us.